recent CBC News investigation has revealed that it took 11 days to find a tenant's body in supportive housing in 2024. Diane Chandler died from an overdose of cocaine, methamphetamine, and fentanyl in her room at the Foxglove. Well, now CBC News has also learned that years before that, Cyndie Richard's son Shawn died in a different supportive housing building, and it took 3 days for staff to find his body. The CBC's Ghoussoub has been investigating this story. Michelle, she joins us now. How did you hear about this?
Yeah, so Cyndie Richard reached out to us after our initial investigation that you outlined there went out, saying this is very similar to what happened to my son. So Shawn Richards was living in the Princess Rooms in the downtown east side. He very sadly passed away of an overdose. It took 3 days for staff to find his body, which was very disturbing to his mother. And so Cyndie said that after that happened, staff reached out to her and said that they would be bringing in changes and they would be implementing more wellness checks to make sure this doesn't happen to another family. Take a listen to her reaction when she read about that 11-day delay in finding Diane Chandler.
At the same time, it chilled me to the bone and made my blood boil at another. I just thought, oh my God, you haven't done anything, and you promised me you would.
So she was very disturbed to learn. She said 7 years later, and it was 7 years later to the day, Benit. It was May 1st that both these people were found. 7 years later, she felt like there has been no change despite a promise that was made to her after her son's death.
And again, Michelle, this is supportive housing. So what has BC Housing said about this?
Yeah, so Rain City didn't respond to our request. They also haven't responded to our previous investigation, but BC Housing did reach out, and they said that back in 2017, they did bring in changes to implement wellness checks every 48 hours. There were also changes made in January of 2024 that allowed operators to enter people's rooms more easily to conduct those wellness checks. That being said, those changes were brought in prior to Diane's death and, did not prevent that significant delay that we saw there. So Cyndie Richard saying she's kind of left wondering 7 years later, 8 years later after her son passed away, what has been done and why do these deaths and these delays keep happening?
All right. Thank you so much, Michelle. And for more on Michelle's story, you can visit our website, cbc.ca/BC.